On paper, the Micromax Infinity N12 appears to be a well-rounded offering, which could perhaps take on popular sub-10,000 rupee smartphones such as the Samsung Galaxy M20, the Realme 2, Redmi Note 5 Pro, Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1, and even the Xiaomi Redmi Y2. But can Micromax's latest device outshine them? Or is the company's return to the game too little too late? With the Micromax Infinity N12, the company aims to not only undercut its competition in terms of sheer value for money, but also create a distinct identity for itself with an unapologetically flashy design. Now the downside is we noticed that the rear panel gets scuffed quickly, and within a few days of using this phone, we saw tiny marks all over the back. The SIM card tray is on the top of the phone and can accommodate 2 nano SIM cards and a micro SD card. The Micromax Infinity N12 sports a 6.19-inch HD Plus display with an 18.9:9 aspect ratio. There's a wide notch at the top that houses a selfie camera, earpiece, and a soft LED flash. While the notch has helped free up some screen real estate at the top, there's still a thick chin at the bottom. Now viewing angles are decent, but there's some distortion when viewed from extreme angles. The peak brightness level is satisfactory, which certainly helped when using the smartphone under sunlight. The relatively low resolution for such a large screen results in subpar pixel density, which takes a toll over the overall visual quality. The edges of images and text appear fuzzy at times. Moreover, the display is also quite reflective. The speaker can get sufficiently loud, but amping it up creates a very noticeable distortion that is not pleasing to the ears. The sound also got muffled when we were gaming in landscape orientation, as our fingers easily cover the speaker grill. The bundle earphones provided by the company are of low quality and are just good for telephony. This phone is powered by the MediaTek Helio P22 processor, a popular choice in this price segment, which also powers the likes of the Redmi 6 and the Vivo Y93. Micromax offers the Infinity N12 in a single configuration, with 3GB of RAM coupled with 32GB of storage. In other features, it supports FM radio. The phone runs on Micromax's own steroid launcher, which looks like near-stock Android 8.1 Oreo and comes with the company's own apps preloaded. Micromax promised to roll out an Android 9 Pie update for the smartphone within 45 days of its launch, but it is yet to be released even though 2 months have now passed. The unit we had for review was running Android 8.1.0 with the December Android security patch. Now the UI is mostly clean with a stock Android appearance. However, the pre-installed apps are riddled with ads and do not bring anything useful to the table. The Infinity N12 offers MediaTek's Dura Speed feature that claims to boost the speed of the foreground app by restricting the activities of those running in the background. However, we did not really experience any noticeable difference in performance when Dura Speed was enabled. The in-house steroid launcher offers some nifty customization tools for tweaking the theme, icons, and home screen layout. However, accessing those tools is not so easy, and we had to delve all the way into the Settings app within the Apps and Notifications section to make the desired adjustments. The rear-mounted fingerprint sensor worked fine and unlocked the device in less than a second. However, the face recognition feature had some issues that prevented it from working altogether in our review unit. We tried out 2 additional retail units of the Micromax N12 and found that the face unlock functionality worked just fine on both of them, which means buyers should not have this problem. Switching between different apps was a breeze, but the moment we shifted gears and turned to heavy games, the smartphone started to stutter. PUBG Mobile, for example, was set to the low graphics preset by default, but stutters and freezes every now and then render the game unplayable. Games also crashed several times, which is certainly something prospective buyers should take into account. The device heats up with heavy usage, but this is concentrated mainly in the area above the fingerprint sensor and does not reach a point where it can be uncomfortable to hold. The Micromax Infinity N12 comes equipped with a dual rear camera setup that includes a 13-megapixel primary sensor and a 5-megapixel secondary sensor. The device offers features such as slow-mo and time-lapse video recording, beautification, and a pro mode. There's an AI mode that claims to optimize camera settings for various conditions, but we found that enabling it imparted a light yellowish tinge to our photos captured under artificial light. Now one can choose between 8 different scene modes, capture bokeh shots, and also apply quirky AR effects such as masks and cartoon faces to selfies using the Face Cute mode. Selfies are handled by a 16-megapixel front camera. The Infinity N12 captured vibrant selfies under daylight with natural skin tones and minimal overblown colors. The beauty mode, which lets you choose between 6 beautification levels, aggressively smoothens skin textures and tweaks facial attributes such as your jawline and the size of your eyes. However, in its bid to lighten skin complexions, we saw that it also somewhat washed out the true colors of objects in the background. Needless to say, selfies taken with the beauty mode looked artificial. As for selfies captured in low light, there was a lot of noise and grain with somewhat muted colors. There is also an option to capture selfies with bokeh effect, but it is a hit or miss in most cases and falters when it comes to edge detection. Now coming to the performance of the dual rear cameras, the photos we shot turned out to be quite good when there was abundant natural light, especially with close-up objects. The camera captured vibrant images and the edges of objects in focus were well defined. The HDR mode helps, but shooting images with HDR enabled can be somewhat frustrating as the Micromax Infinity N12 takes a little over 3 seconds to process a shot before you can capture another one. Now while photos usually turned out to be clear, we noticed the colors turned out muted in scenarios with suboptimal natural light, and sharpness was also lacking. The rear sensor was also quick at locking focus, which did come in handy. Low light performance is just average and leaves a lot to be desired. The details were missing and color saturation also took a hit in our sample shots, with noise further degrading the quality. Then again, budget smartphones tend to underperform when it comes to low light photography. The bokeh mode on the other hand gave us decent portrait shots with blurry backgrounds. The intensity of the blur effect can be adjusted when shooting as well as after the shots are saved, which is certainly nice to have at one's disposal. However, edge detection could have been better. Now one area where the Micromax Infinity N12 shines is battery life. The smartphone's 4000 mAh battery easily lasted a full day of above average usage. In our HD video loop test, it lasted for around 11 hours and 3 minutes. Battery life is on the higher side and won't leave most users running towards the nearest charger before the end of the day. Launched at 9,999 rupees, the Micromax Infinity N12 can currently be purchased for around 9,500 rupees on e-commerce sites. The price segment it falls in is categorized by fierce competition, so while this smartphone tries to make a case for itself with its flashy design, large battery and decent cameras, the presence of better performing rivals from more established brands prevent it from truly becoming a strong contender. So thanks for watching our review of the Micromax Infinity N12, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.